Hi, I'm here to talk about Batman, the 1989 Batman film, which I really cared about growing up. A very important nostalgic film for me. And since it's been so long and I've had so many times to rewatch the film, and I've had a lot of time to think about the film, I've pondered, does the film hold up as a great film, or is it just a very nostalgic film for me? Well, something I do want to make clear first off that I do feel very nostalgic for the Tim Burton version of Batman, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Um, but I also do genuinely think that Batman 1989 holds up. I think it's not just a nostalgic thing. There are some Batman films that I've grown up with that I don't think hold up the best. Like I mentioned, how I don't think that Batman Mask of the Phantasm holds up that well and stuff like that. But Batman 1989 really does hold up as a very good film, and it's definitely a film that I love. A big thing that I want to mention is Michael Keaton as Batman. Growing up, Michael Keaton was my favorite Batman actor. Like when I thought of an actor as Batman, I thought of Michael Keaton. And as time went on, and when I started getting a soft spot for more sentimental things, more kind of happy, upbeat things, I developed a strong appreciation for Adam West's Batman on a very, very big level. Where I liked Adam West as a kid, but I grew to love Adam West as time went on. So Adam West started being what I thought of as Batman. So Adam West became my definitive Batman actor. However, I still love Michael Keaton's Batman. Of the more serious, intense versions of Batman, Michael Keaton is definitely my favorite. And since a lot of the more serious, intense versions of Batman have become so common, Michael Keaton's Batman still feels definitive to me in a way. So, in a way, I think of Adam West and Michael Keaton both as definitive versions of Batman in that way. I love Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, and I learned to appreciate Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne actually more than I did as a kid. Because as a kid, I want to see Batman in costume as much as possible, and I still love seeing Batman in costume. But Michael Keaton's really entertaining as Bruce Wayne. He's funny, he's charming. He has an awkwardness that I find relatable, where I've often really struggled to socialize. And with Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne really struggling to deal with that, he felt like the most relatable Bruce Wayne to me in a lot of situations and moments, and still able to be really fun to watch, and to the point where I love seeing him as Bruce Wayne. So like I don't feel bored when he's not being Batman. But as Batman, he is so cool. I love how he looks in the costume. I love uh, how Michael Keaton is as Batman. So cool. Such great differences between Bruce Wayne and Batman. I think that he did such a wonderful job at both Bruce Wayne and Batman, and I love that. Jack Nicholson's Joker is very entertaining. I love the outfits. I think that Jack Nicholson has a real snarky, witty charm that works so well for the Joker. Um, and I think that his voice is good. It's not quite what I imagine the Joker to sound like. I imagine more of a sort of Cesar Romero sort of voice, where it's a little more high pitched, but in a way that's entertaining. Which what Cesar Romero I felt was able to do. But I think that Cesar Romero is the best, but I think that Jack Nicholson really worked well as the Joker. Um, Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. is able to be a likable character. I think that she and Michael Keaton work well in the film. Vicky Vale is able to be a likable girlfriend character and is able to feel like she has an important role to play and doesn't feel pointless or annoying and stuff like that. So I appreciate that. Michael Goth as Alfred, wonderful, super likable. And I really love that Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, it's clear that he really cares about Alfred and really sees him as part of his family. And I think that's very great and very important. And Michael Goth's Alfred is consistently likable. Uh, it's hard to think of anything about Alfred to complain about. Wonderful supporting character. Robert Vaughn as Alexander Knox, pretty entertaining supporting character, has some good comedic moments. I think he works well as being a fun comedy relief rather than annoying comedy relief. Jack Palance is very entertaining for the brief amount of screen time that he has as Carl Grissom. Um, I like Pat Hingle's performance as Commissioner Gordon. I actually think he was a good choice for the role. Just I don't have a whole lot of complaints about the film, but a nitpick I do have is Commissioner Gordon not really getting that much to do, and him and Batman not feeling as close as I would want them to be. So I don't think it's Pat Hingle's fault. I just think that Commissioner Gordon should have gotten a little bit more of an important role in the story. Um, Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent isn't in the film that much, but he is charming for the brief amount of time that he has, and I think it's okay that he has a small role, but I do wish that he got to be Two Face um, in a live action movie. I think that would have been really fun. The visuals are amazing. Some of the best looking visuals in a superhero film. I think that Tim Burton is one of the greatest directors of all time when it comes to creativity and beautiful, stylish visuals that I feel like the visuals are able to tell a lot of the story. And there's been a lot of advancements in technology, but because Tim Burton has such brilliant creativity, the visuals are able to hold up and, in my personal opinion, look more impressive than a lot of modern superhero films. And even the very best looking of modern superhero films, I feel like Tim Burton's Batman still gives them at least some competition. Um, I feel like the story is very interesting. I feel like it's told well with visuals, but also with dialogue. I really do think that the dialogue is really interesting. Lots of memorable lines, and the performers deliver them very well. Danny Elfman's music is fantastic. His Batman theme, in my opinion, is still one of the two best superhero movie themes, right up there with John Williams' Superman theme. Uh, so there's a lot of really great stuff in the film. I did mention Commissioner Gordon's role being a little bit of a nitpick, and another uh, thing that used to be a nitpick, and sometimes was even a big complaint with me, is Michael Keaton's Batman being not quite as morally as responsible as I would want Batman to be. From the way it's conveyed in the film, it's hard to know for sure, but it kind of seems like Batman got rid of some of Joker's henchmen, and it seemed like he was really trying to get rid of the Joker. Um, and that really doesn't feel like Batman. Batman, like, his biggest rule is not getting rid of any villains. Um, so for a while, that was a problem for me in a film that I, for the most part, loved. But after having more time to think of it, it doesn't bother me anymore, and I don't think it's a problem against the film anymore. Where it's not what I would want Batman to be in a lot of other versions, but Tim Burton did such a wonderful job, and Michael Keaton did such a wonderful job, and so many amazing, talented people did such great work to make such a masterpiece of a film that getting one of the most important things about Batman wrong actually doesn't hurt my enjoyment of the film anymore, and I don't think it stops it from being such a great film. So I think that Batman 1989 does hold up, and nostalgia will always help me enjoy the film, but I think there's much more going for it than that. I think it holds up as one of the better Batman films.